Hi students, good morning to once again. Good morning to all of you. So in this class, we shall discuss the thermal derivation of thermal efficiency of Carnot cycle. So for this cycle, we have a small description for the Carnot cycle. So see once again, this cycle was developed by Nicholas Leonard Sadi Carnot. So nowadays all heat engines are working on this cycle. So this is a practical application. And third point is this cycle consisting four operations or four thermodynamic processes. They are, first one is reversible isothermal compression process. Second one, reversible adiabatic compression process, reversible isothermal expansion process, and fourth one, reversible adiabatic expansion process, that is 4 to 1. So by using these four thermodynamic processes, how to draw the PV diagram and TS diagram, let us see. So by using these four processes, so how to draw the PV diagram? Once again, see here. What is the first process? Reversible isothermal compression. Isothermal means it is a constant temperature process. Constant temperature or isothermal, both are same. In isothermal process, temperature is constant. It is a compression process, that is 1 to 2. So here in isothermal process, it should be a curved line in a PV diagram. This is a curved line. So 1 to 2 process is isothermal process. This is a curved line. Compression process means arrow symbol must be towards the vertical axis. This is a isothermal compression process. Next, second process. What is the second process? Reversible adiabatic compression, that is 2 to 3. So in adiabatic process, it is a curved line in PV diagram. 2 to 3 is a adiabatic compression process. So arrow symbol must be towards vertical axis and it should be curved line. 2 to 3 is a curved line. Next, third process, reversible isothermal expansion process. So in isothermal process, it should be a curved line. 3 to 4 is, whether it is compression or expansion, whatever it is, it should be curved line in isothermal process. So 3 to 4 is the isothermal expansion process. So it is isothermal process means the arrow symbol should be away from the vertical axis. This is the arrow symbol. Next, this is our third process. And what is the fourth process? Reversible adiabatic expansion process, that is 4 to 1. So 4 to 1 is the reversible adiabatic expansion. So in expansion process, arrow symbol must be away from the vertical axis. So 4 to 1 is the adiabatic expansion process means it should be curved line in PV diagram. See here, this is a point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. So from point 1 we have to draw the so we can indicate volume V1. So here, so at point 4 we can indicate volume at V4, V4 here. This is a V2 volume. So this is our V3 volume. So here if we observe these volumes, V1 is higher than V4, V4 is higher than V2 and V2 is higher than V3. So this is our totally PV diagram. And how to draw the TS diagram? By using these thermodynamic process. Once again, see, first process is what? Reversible isothermal compression. Isothermal means constant temperature process. So constant temperature process means the temperature should be constant at point 1 and 2. So this is 1 to 2 process means temperature at 1 point, temperature at 2 point should be constant. This is a constant line. So this is a temperature line, this is a entropy line. A TS diagram means temperature entropy line. So the line should be perpendicular to vertical axis and parallel to x-axis. This is our isothermal compression process. In compression process, arrow symbol must be towards the vertical axis. So this is our, and second process is what? Reversible adiabatic compression process. In adiabatic process, what is the constant? Entropy should be constant, means that line should be perpendicular to x-axis, parallel to y-axis. So here entropy at S2 is equal to S3. This should be like this. And third one is reversible isothermal expansion. Isothermal means temperature is constant. So 3 to 4. So from temperature at point 3, temperature to point 4 is should be constant. T3 is equal to T4. So this is our constant line. Okay. Next, last one is reversible adiabatic expansion process. In reversible adiabatic expansion process means entropy should be constant. S1 is equal to S4. So expansion means arrow symbol must be downward direction. Compression means must be upward direction, right? This is our TS diagram and PV diagram and TS diagram. And coming to the second slide, so how to write the total work transfer and heat transfer in different processes. Once again, see, what is the first process? Isothermal compression process, that is 1 to 2 process. Already I have explained the derivation of the total work transfer in isothermal process in first unit. Once again, see that. So here P1 V1 equal log V1 by V2. This is a total work transfer in isothermal compression process. So why V1 by V2? Nothing but, so if we compare the, if we see the volume, if we compare the volume V1 and V2, V1 is higher than V2. That's why V1 by divided by V2. So what is this process? Isothermal compression process, that is 1 to 2 process. From 1 to 2 is nothing but starting point is 1, ending point is 2. So that's why starting point we have to write first P1 V1 log V1 by V2. So higher volume divided by lower volume. So that's why this is our total work transfer in isothermal compression process. Next, total heat transfer in isothermal compression process is equal to, already we know that from the first law of thermodynamic, W is equal, Q is equal to W plus W plus W plus U, W plus U. So in isothermal process, temperature is constant. When temperature constant, internal should be 0, U becomes 0. When U becomes 0, therefore Q is equal to W. So Q is equal to what? W. W is what is the value? This one. So same value will be total heat transfer. Q is equal to P1 V1 log V1 by V2. This is our total heat transfer in isothermal compression process. And second process is adiabatic compression process, that is 2 to 3. So already we know that how to write the total work done, work transfer in adiabatic compression process. In the I have explained in the previous video. So once again, see, so P2 V2 minus P3 V3 divided by 1 minus gamma. So why P2 V2 minus P3 V3? So here the volume V2 is higher than V3. So that's why P2 V2 minus P3 V3 divided by 1 minus gamma. If we multiply this numerator and denominator with minus, it becomes like this: P3 V3 minus P2 V2 divided by gamma minus 1. The total heat transfer in adiabatic compression process, Q is equal to 0. Why? Because in adiabatic process, the system or substance will not receive any type of heat, will not leaves out any type of heat. That's why Q is equal to 0. Okay. Next, third process is isothermal expansion process, that is the W3 to 4. So starting point is 3, ending point is 4. So total heat transfer in isothermal expansion process is equal to 3 to 4 is equal to P3 V3, same as first one. So here starting point 1, so P1 V1. Here starting point 3, that's why P3 V3 log V4 by V3. Why V4 by V3? Volume at V4 is higher than V3. That's why V4 divided by V3. This is our P3 V3 log V4 by V3. Next, total heat transfer in isothermal expansion process is equal to, we know that from the first law of thermodynamics, Q is equal to total heat transfer is equal to total work done plus internal energy. So here it is a constant temperature process, means temperature is constant. When temperature is constant, internal energy should be 0. That's why it becomes U becomes 0. Substitute that one here. Q is equal to W. Therefore Q is equal to 3 to 4 is equal to P3 V3 log V4 by V3. This is our total heat transfer in isothermal expansion process. Last process is adiabatic expansion process, that is 4 to 1. Total already we know that total work transfer in adiabatic expansion process is equal to P1 V1 minus P4 V4 divided by 1 minus gamma. So why P1 V1 minus P4 V4? So volume V1 is higher than V4. That's why P1 V1 minus P4 V4 divided by 1 minus gamma. So if we multiply the numerator and denominator with minus, it becomes like this: P4 V4 minus P1 V1 divided by gamma minus 1. Q is equal to blindly 0. Why? Because it is a adiabatic process. That's why adiabatic process Q is equal to 0. Thermal efficiency of the Carnot cycle is equal to general formula, net work done by heat supplied. Again, net work done formula is this one: heat supplied minus heat rejected. Therefore final Carnot cycle, if heat supplied minus heat rejected by heat supplied. So if we separate this denominator, both terms, we can write like this. See here, efficiency of Carnot cycle is equal to heat supplied by heat supplied minus heat rejected by heat supplied. So here efficiency of Carnot cycle is equal to 1 minus heat supplied gets cancelled, 1 minus P1 V1 log. So here heat rejected. So once again, see TS diagram. So here from 1 to 2 is heat is rejecting. So from 1 to 2 is heat rejecting, from 3 to 4 is heat supplying. This is a heat supplied process, heat rejecting process. So 3 to 4 is a heat supplied process. 1 to 2 is the heat rejection process. So 1 to 2 is heat rejected. So here heat rejected nothing but P1 V1 log V1 by V4, this formula. Okay, heat rejected. So this one is heat supplied. Okay, so therefore heat supplied P1 V1 log V1 by V4 divided by P3 V3 log V4 by V3. Already we know that gas law, PV is equal to MRT. So P1 V1 is nothing but MRT1. P3 V3 is nothing but MRT3. So here V1 by V2 is nothing but compression ratio. So compression ratio, and V4 by V3 is nothing but what? Expansion ratio, that is R suffix E. In isothermal process, both are equal. Compression ratio as well as expansion ratio both are equal in isothermal process. That's why RC is equal to RE, that is equal to small r. So therefore log V1 by V2 is nothing but compression ratio, that is log R. Okay, similarly log V4 by V3 is nothing but this is expansion ratio, that is also R. Log R by log R gets cancelled, M gets cancelled, RR gets cancelled. So finally your equation will be like this. Efficiency of the Carnot cycle is equal to 1 minus T1 by T3. Okay, right. So from the TS diagram, from the process 4 to 1 directly adiabatic compression process, that is 4 to 1. So we can write it as from 4 to 1 means temperature at point 4 is higher than temperature T1. If we observe the TS diagram, temperature at 4 is higher than the T1. So T4 by T1 is equal to V1 by, so here it is a 4 means we should write 1. So here 1 means we should write here 4. So T4 by T1 nothing but V1 by V4. So go to the power of gamma minus 1. From TS diagram, T4 is equal to T3. Once again see TS diagram, T3 is equal to T4. So from that we can write T3 is equal to T4 or T4 is equal to T3. And V1 by V4 is nothing but what? Expansion ratio. So V1 by, so end of the expansion divided by starting of the expansion, nothing but expansion ratio. Okay, therefore V1 by V4 is nothing but expansion ratio. So here T4 is nothing but T3 divided by T1. V1 by V4 is nothing but what? R. So substitute that one here, R, this is R1. Therefore T3 is equal to T1 into R to the power of gamma minus 1. This is our equation number 2. Substitute this T3 value. So in this T3 in this equation number 1, so here in this place T3, so substitute T3 value, equation number 1, we get thermal efficiency of the Carnot cycle is equal to 1 minus T1 by T1 into R to the power of gamma minus 1. T1 gets cancelled. Final equation will be like this: 1 minus 1 by R to the power of gamma minus 1. So this is our final thermal efficiency of the Carnot cycle. I hope you understand. In the next video I will explain about the Joule cycle or Brayton cycle. Thank you so much.